Well, joining us, we have another special guest. Joining us is forensic psychiatrist Dr. Ziv Cohen. Dr. Cohen, thank you so much for coming on, and I'm glad you're coming at a great time because we're talking about the possible testimony of Dr. Vincent, this forensic psychiatrist. And here, the question of studying George Floyd's behavior and whether or not he was legitimately having a panic attack, claustrophobia, versus what the defense or what the prosecution says the defense is intimating that he was faking it. What's your opinion on this?
I think that there is probably a lot that can be said about by experts and even by witnesses about George Floyd's state of mind and his behavior. If he indeed had a history of substance abuse and multiple substances, and had had previous instances of anxiety, or maybe he was even using substances to self-medicate some kind of mental health issue, then that could be germane to understanding his behavior. Of course, it could cut both ways. It could be helpful for the defense or for the prosecution in various ways.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Yeah, I agree. And Dr. Cohen, I want to go to you now because, this idea
Yeah.
that we will not at this point be hearing from Dr. Vincent, this forensic psychiatrist, about the behavior of George Floyd, what was going on in his mind, how he was feeling. That's not what's happening right now. It's more this medical issue about cause of death. How did you view what we just heard in that courtroom?
Well, I think it's a very tough ruling for the judge to make. So it's easy to second guess, and I think the judge is doing a good job. But I think that from a medical perspective, some of the distinctions that are being drawn are artificial. So when you're looking at someone have very high blood pressure, one of the main things that can cause high blood pressure is pain. If someone's in pain, another thing that can cause high blood pressure is anxiety. If your anxiety shoots up, that can account for high blood pressure. So I think that in terms of modern medical science, we don't have these distinctions so clearly between the physical and the mental. The physical and the mental are really intertwined. So I think that the judge has to decide what to let in and what to exclude based on what might have too much of a prejudicial impact rather than a probative impact. And I understand that as a matter of law. But from a medical perspective, I'm a little disappointed that some of this mental health side is not going to be included because I think it really can affect even a lot of the medical evidence that the judge is very interested in.